Okay, so welcome to the last lesson for this grade 2 rudiment of music. You've gone through a lot from the first day in this class, from lesson 1 to lesson 14. And here we are wrapping it up to prepare you for your exams for looking at lesson 15. The lesson 15, or the last lesson today, will be on music terms and signs. Normally, that's what we end every kind of grade with, music terms and signs. And you are very familiar with music terms and signs in your grade 1. You did it. Now, please understand, before we go into the lesson and go into the learning objective, understand that you may still be examined on some of the music terms and signs you did from grade 1. So whatever we're going to do, the new additions of music terms and signs that we'll be looking at in terms of the grade 2 syllabus is an addition to whatever you've done in grade 1. So you'll be examined across board, because as you keep growing up in your rudiment of music, you have to have a fuller knowledge, a more robust knowledge of what music terms and signs are. So you have to have a larger base of music terms and signs. Okay, and you already know why we have music terms and signs, so that music is kind of performed to details. Music terms and signs kind of helps you to understand, helps the composer or the writer of the music to kind of give details about how he wants the music to be performed. So it's not just about performing the music. It's about performing the music in the right manner, in the right way. You understand? Very, very important. So we're going to be looking at some of these music terms and signs that are relevant to our grade. When you get to grade 3 again, more music terms and signs will start cropping up. Okay, so for today, by the end of the lesson, we should know definitely meanings of music terms, relevant music terms, and then we're looking at some music signs. So you should be able to know how to interpret those signs when you see them on the music sheet. Also, you should be able to know how to interpret the terms when you also see them on a music score. Let's start from the terms. So there are terms that deals with tempo, deals with speed, just the same way we did in grade 1. So we're still going to follow the same pattern. So terms that deals with speed is what you already have on the slide here, and I'll just go through them. Some of them could be familiar with what we've done already. For example, allegando. Allegando means getting a bit slower. All right, it means broadening, so it means getting a bit slower. So it's very important that you understand that when we talk about, so it's not as if you become slow all of a sudden. No, it has to be gradually. So that is what allegando actually means. And adantino means, it's almost the same thing with andante. If you remember andante, it means slow, but adantino is still slow, but it's faster than andante. So you have to note that it's faster than, so you have to now think about what is the speed for an andante. Quiet is a bit slow, okay, and adantino kind of, okay, it's going to be faster than an andante. All right. The next one is grave. Grave means, just like from the name, it's just grave. That means make the music solemn, make it slow, make it sing it with sobriety. Grave. So that's that. So then from there we have legato, or laghetto. It means slow, but not as slow as Lego. So Lego is, slow. All right. But legato means it's still slow, but not as slow as Lego. So when these are things, it's difficult for you to kind of define what this speed actually means in absolute time. It's relative, okay? So you have to understand just know what the meanings are and understand how to interpret some of these stuffs. Like Lego, like you can see, it means slow. So we've talked about Lego, legato. Lego, slow. Legato, slow, but not as slow as Lego. Presto. Presto means very fast. In fact, faster than Allegro. Of course, Allegro means fast. But when you see presto, it means fast. That means something that is faster than Allegro. It means that it must then be very, very, very fast. So we need to note that. So those are some of the terms we have on terms of speed, you know, how fast, speed is how fast or how slow a song goes, or otherwise known as tempo. The other thing here, we have sostenuto. Sostenuto. Sostenuto means sustain. It means sustain. So it means when you have that sostenuto sound, when you have that sostenuto term on a particular note, it's as if you are saying pause, sustain that particular part of the song, that particular note, all right? Sustain it. So that's very, very, I think that is clear. The other one, which is somehow related or somehow kind of similar to sostenuto, is tenuto. Tenuto also means sustain. It means held. So it can come. We're going to look at it eventually when we look at the signs to see how these are represented in time. If you remember staccato, staccato means pump, just detach, 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 detach. So like tenuto, or you know, it's like the opposite of a staccato, you know, where you have to kind of pause, a short pause, you know, kind of add pressure, hold the notes for some considerable amount of time. So those are the ones that we're going to be looking at. Of course, there are other terms and signs, but like I said, for terms of speed, we're going to stop at this. And then we'll go to style or direction, or what you call dynamics. No, this is not dynamics, apologies. Just style or direction, we're still coming to dynamics. So terms on style, on direction. Style, you know, these are just abbreviations that comes with music terms and signs. So when you see these abbreviations following a particular term, you should know what they mean. So most of these words may not stand alone. They may stand with other terms and signs, but you should be able to relate them. You should be able to relate them, all right? For example, anywhere you see you know that is talking about it means at, by, to, for, in style, in the manner of, or similar to, you know. So that's so if you see, for example, marcia means in the style of a march, because marcia is march. Marcia. So like I said, these words, they don't stand in isolation. All right? They don't stand in isolation. They are always combined, used in conjunction with other terms and signs. The same thing when you see al or Allah, it's in the manner of, in the style of, it's almost similar to the first one. Like you have alla marcia in the style of a march, you know. Then you have assai. Assai means very, very. So if I say, for example, allegro assai, allegro assai. Allegro means quick. So assai means very. Allegro assai is very quick. So you don't just, like I said, if you put only assai, it doesn't make sense. Very, very what? It's qualifying. So these are like qualifying words, qualifying musical terms. All right. Then we have con or call. Con or call. So that is anytime you see that, you know, it's with. Come match. With match. All right. So it's very, that's, then we also have ed. Ed means and. And. So when you see that, no, it means and. Then you have expressivo. Expressivo, you have the short terms there. It means, it's very clear. It means expressive. Sing with expression. That is all. Play with expression, expressive. So that's what we want you to do when you expressivo. And I want you. One thing I also want to encourage you: don't be shy of using these words when you are practicing your music, or when you are in a choir setting, or you are teaching a song, or you use them. We are not teaching you these things for you to put them in the pocket and pass exams. No. Use them in your music activities, in your musical activities, anywhere, whether in the school, in the church, in society, anywhere you find yourself. That's how you get to get more integrated into them. All right, let's now go to the next one. Grosso. Grosso means playful, in a playful style, in a merry style. And it's followed by gracioso. Gracioso is graceful, playful, graceful, gracioso. Ma means but. It's like we're telling you, do this, but. So anytime you see ma, it means, oh, they're telling me to, yes, to start thinking of an alternative. Mastoso. Mastoso is majestic. Majestic. Mastoso, majestic. Meno means less. 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 Like if we say, menu motto. Menu motto. Motto, M-O-T-O, means movement, if you remember. So if we say menu motto, it means less movement for this song, or for less movement. Menu motto, less. Molto means very or much. So we can also say molto movement. Sorry, molto motto. Molto motto. That means much movement. Very much, moving. Let the movement be more, with movement, of much movement. So that's for motto. Then we go to the next one. Muscle or motto. I've talked about motto. Motto, when you see muscle or motto, it means movement. So can somebody tell me what's the meaning of motto from what I've to motto? Motto.
With movement.
With movement, because con is with, motto is movement. So motto. Non simply means not. Not. Più means more. I think those of you from Italy may know this very well. Senza means without. Without. So if I say senza moto, it means without movement. Senza espressivo, without expression. You understand? So these are things that. Then simile or sim means similarly, in the same manner. So if we say it means do this thing the same way you did this other one, so similar. Troppo. Troppo means too much. Too much. If I say non troppo, what does it mean? Non troppo. Naomi, non troppo.
Does it mean not too much?
Not too much, correct. Thank you very much. So we've looked at terms and signs as it deals with speed, tempo. We've looked at styles or direction. Now I want to look at volume or a bit of dynamics. All right. Now the first one there is dose. Dose simply means like if you think about a dove, soft, sweet, just so we use it. Sometimes you see it at the beginning of a song. They say dose. It means this song soft throughout, sweet. Forte piano. If you remember forte means loud. Am I right? Piano means soft. So when you see forte piano, it means loud, then immediately soft. Loud, then immediately soft. All right? So you see, sometimes we have a song that we say forte piano, go loud, then immediately come soft. And then you have the other ones there, forzando or forzato. Forzando, forzato, they means make that particular note that has that terms, or those group of notes that will have this sign or has this term, make them accented. We'll talk about accent. What does it mean? Make them forced. That means put emphasis on them. Sometimes you are singing a song, we say, emphasize this place, emphasize this part, sing it with emphasis. What we're telling you to do is forzando, forzato, this, make it forceful. That's on terms, that's on volume. Okay. And now we go to musical science. So this is the final one, musical science. We've looked at terms. but you'll be examined on signs also. So let's see. So yeah, if you see this thing that looks like greater than or less than, all right? This thing that looks like greater than, this thing here, can you see it? Whether up or down, or this one that looks like an inverted V, if it is up, or a small v if it is down, they simply means ascent. Remember, we'll talk, okay, can somebody tell me what was the term that we said if you see that term, it means ascent? Ascent the note. What term was it called? There is a term we said it means ascent.
Sforzando.
Forzando or forzato. Thank you very much. Now, this is the same thing. So this is the sign for that term. So when you see that sign, it means accent the mark note, play it forcefully, sing it, add pressure, put some emphasis, emphasize those notes. And when you see the one, this one that is upper V, or V or inverted V, it's even a stronger accent. You understand? It means the accent has to be much stronger than what you have in the other one. Okay? Now we have this other one here. This one, you can see when you have, of course, if without this law, if this law wasn't there, what would these notes be called? This dot, what would they be called? We did it in grade 1. What would they be called? Don't tell me you've forgotten. Don't tell me you've forgotten. It's staccato now. Have you forgotten? Staccato. So, you know the way, what does staccato means? Detach, play short and detached, pap, pap, short and detached. But now, when you have a slow, all right, when you have a slow going through those staccatos, so this is not just, so normally a slow means, so if the staccato wasn't there, the slow means join those notes together, we sing them in a flowing style. Now you have a staccato there, and it's still telling you sing it, but you need to detach it. So you have to juggle between detaching and singing in a combined style, in a flowing style. That's why we say it's a semi-staccato. It is not a full staccato. When you see those staccato joined by a slow, it becomes, that slow reduces the impact of the staccato, weakens it, and makes it a semi-staccato. In that case, you still play it as a staccato, but not with the kind of emphasis you would have given an ordinary staccato if the slow wasn't there. Do you think we got that? Good. Now we have this other one, this one here that has a Welsh sign up and down. It is called staccatissimo. It's called what? Staccatissimo. You see, it's similar to staccato, but this one is even shorter and, more brief than staccato. It means play it as quickly as possible, as briefly as possible. The shortest way you can play. So it's like, make it as short as possible as it can be, as brief as possible, and with accent. So you are not only doing staccato, you're also adding accent to it. So it is a more intensive staccato plus accent. Do you understand? That's why we say staccatissimo. Do you understand my point now? So it's You're going to play it as briefly as possible, and yet you are going to accent the note. Then remember tenuto. We talked about tenuto. If you remember, what is the meaning of tenuto? What is the meaning of tenuto?
Held.
Held. So it simply means, or means when you see this bar signs that looks like a bar lines on top of it, it means tenuto. It means apply slap. You are to. It's still staccato. It's still in a way. It's still like a representative of staccato, but in this case, you are playing the notes separately, but you are still applying slight pressure. You are still applying some pressure, trying to hold it for some time, then leave, hold it for some time, then leave, then hold it for some time, then leave. So these are the relevant music signs that is relevant to your level at this point. So
For tenuto. For tenuto, I have a question for tenuto.
Okay.
So when you say hold it for some time and leave, does it mean you're gonna exit the times signature?
That's a very good question. You understand? It's not talking about this actually is for people that play the violin. Will kind of, because when you're playing the violin, you are adding pressure to or those that play the strings, you are adding pressure to your strings, all right? So you will, when you see this note, it means just slight pressure on that because some of these signs has to do with not just vocalizing, not vocal music, but instrumental music. All right. So if you see something like it means the normal pressure you'll have applied on your string, no, you just apply a slight pressure. So it gives you a different feel than when you apply the normal pressure on your string. The same thing maybe with those that play, there could be maybe those that play to sax, other wind instrument. You may still have something like that. But at least I know it's very much used in violin, in violin music. In violin music, it's very much used. So that is, so that is for, that is all what we have for now, which is kind of, it's what we have for now, which is kind of the end of the class for grade 2. And I believe you've learned a lot. So it's up to you need to go back from what you've learned in grade 1. Sorry, grade 1. If you have to write the exam, and try to do some revision, because everything will be combined to kind of examine you in your exam. So the assignment I'm going to give you is just what you have on your music theory workbook, pages 29 to 32, exercise 1 to 4. You know when to submit. The deadline is Sunday. So please kindly do them and submit them to me on Sunday. All right. Thank you very much for listening, and I wish you all the best.